It has been 36 years since we were first told to get our asses to Mars. In 1990, Total Recall wasn't just a movie, it was a sensory overload of practical effects, existential dread, and one-liners that carved themselves into pop culture history. It posed a question that still haunts us: is the reality we experience a hero's journey, or just a lobotomy-induced fantasy? While we continue to debate whether it was all a dream, the real-life cast has lived through journeys far more dramatic than anything Philip K. Dick could have imagined. From the peak of physical power to devastating health battles, from hidden scandals to quiet lives of artistry, here is what the legendary cast of Total Recall looks like in 2026. At the center of the chaos was Arnold Schwarzenegger, born in 1947. As Douglas Quaid, he was the ultimate action hero, a construction worker with a fractured identity who delivers the immortal line, "Get your ass to Mars." In 1990, Arnold was at the absolute peak of his powers, the undisputed king of the box office. But his life off-screen took more plot twists than the film's narrative. He traded his futuristic gun for a political podium, serving as the governor of California from 2003 to 2011. But just when it seemed his life was a fairy tale, a scandal broke that shook the world to its core: the revelation of a secret son, Joseph, with a member of his household staff. This revelation ended his 25-year marriage to Maria Shriver. Now, in 2026, at 78 years old, Arnold is the picture of resilience. He's back in action, leading the Netflix series Fubar, and is still a fixture in the gym, often spotted with his pet donkey, Lulu. He stands as a testament to the idea that while you can't terminate the past, you can always choose to start a new life. If Quaid was the hero, his wife was the nightmare. Sharon Stone, born in 1958, played Lori Quaid, the seemingly beautiful spouse who reveals herself to be a cold-blooded agent for the villainous Cohaagen. The film's brutal fight scene between her and Arnold proved she could go toe-to-toe with the biggest star on the planet. That raw intensity launched her into superstardom, leading directly to her iconic role in Basic Instinct. But behind the bombshell image lies a mind of extraordinary power. Sharon has an IQ of 154, making her a certified genius. Yet, her toughest battle wasn't with a villain on Mars, but with her own body. In 2001, she suffered a massive stroke and cerebral hemorrhage, facing 2 years of grueling rehabilitation to learn to walk and talk again. It was a fight that cost her a place in Hollywood. Now, at 67 years old in 2026, she stands not just as a movie star, but as a radiant, resilient survivor, proving that strength is defined by what you overcome. Standing in stark contrast to Lori was Rachel Ticotin's Melina. Born in 1958, Ticotin played the fierce brunette resistance fighter and Quaid's true love. She was no damsel in distress, she was a warrior who could wield a knife and save the hero as often as he saved her. In real life, Rachel has preferred a quiet life away from the tabloids. She was once married to CSI, Miami star David Caruso, but she let her work speak for itself. After Total Recall, she became a go-to for strong, authoritative women in films like Falling Down and Con Air. Now, at 67, Rachel remains a steady, intense presence in Hollywood, bringing that signature grit to television dramas like Law and Order. She is the unsung heroine of the cast, a symbol of unwavering integrity. The man who made their lives hell was Ronny Cox, born in 1938. As the ruthless Governor Velos Cohaagen, he was the ultimate corporate villain, willing to cut off the air supply to thousands of mutants just to maintain control. With roles like this and RoboCop, Cox was the face of evil in the 80s. But here's the surprise that flips the script entirely: in real life, Ronny is the complete opposite of his on-screen persona. He is a gentle soul and a professional folk musician. Instead of plotting world domination, he spends his time touring the country, playing guitar, and telling stories. Now, at 87 years old in 2026, he is the living proof that the most terrifying villains are often played by the kindest, most gentle men in Hollywood. Hounding Quaid across the Red Planet was Michael Ironside as Richter, Cohaagen's most determined and obsessive lieutenant. Born on February 12, 1950, we celebrate his 76th birthday this year. He is best remembered for the intense elevator showdown with Arnold, a legendary scene that marked the end of their rivalry with a memorable headbutt. Ironside, a method actor known for his focused intensity, brought a grounded, dangerous realism to the set. But in real life, Michael is a true survivor. He has bravely battled and overcome serious health challenges, surviving cancer not once, but twice. Beyond the screen, he became a legend in the gaming world as the iconic voice of Sam Fisher in Splinter Cell. At 76, he remains one of the most resilient, intense, and respected figures in the industry. Of course, the Resistance had its own memorable members. Marshall Bell, born in 1942, played George, the nervous rebel hiding a shocking secret. He carried the psychic mutant leader, Quado, attached to his stomach. The line, "Open your mind," became legendary, thanks to a masterpiece of practical makeup that required Bell to wear a heavy, full-body chest rig for hours. Off-screen, Bell is a close friend of director Paul Verhoeven and later starred in Starship Troopers. Now, at 83, he remains a familiar face, often playing authority figures with dark secrets. Then there was the Taxi Driver. Mel Johnson Jr., born in 1949, played Benny, the mutant cabbie who befriended Quaid only to stab him in the back at the climax. His desperate plea, "I got 5 kids to feed," became the movie's most quoted line. But here's a secret, it wasn't in the script. Mel improvised it on the spot, and the director loved it so much he kept it. In real life, Mel is far from a street hustler. He is a prestigious Broadway actor, famous for starring as Mufasa and Ed the Hyena in The Lion King. At 76, he proves that a small supporting role can become legendary with just a spark of improvisation. While the stars aligned for some, tragedy struck others. Roy Brocksmith, born in 1945, played Dr. Edgemar, the sweating, nervous psychiatrist who tried to convince Quaid that Mars was just a dream. He offered Quaid a red pill to wake up, a concept that would later define The Matrix. Roy was a brilliant character actor, instantly recognizable from Scrooged and Tango and Cash. Tragically, his life was cut short. He passed away in 2001 from kidney failure caused by diabetes complications. He was only 56. His performance remains the intellectual anchor of the film, leaving us forever wondering if Quaid was a hero or just a lobotomized patient. Similarly, Debbie Lee Carrington, born in 1959, played Thumbelina, the fierce, vertically challenged resistance fighter. In the chaotic shootout, she was a whirlwind of action, taking down soldiers twice her size to protect her mutant family. Debbie was a powerhouse, often hidden under costumes like an Ewok in Star Wars, but she spent her life advocating for actors with disabilities, demanding respect and better roles. She passed away in 2018 at the age of 58. She was a small warrior with the heart of a giant. But not all legacies are tragic. Dean Norris, born in 1963, was unrecognizable under heavy makeup as Tony, a disfigured mutant at the Last Resort bar. Even in this tiny role, his intensity was undeniable. He was destined for much bigger things, later becoming television icon Hank Schrader in Breaking Bad. Here's a surprise: despite often playing thugs and cops, Dean is a graduate of Harvard University. At 62, he stands as one of the most successful actors from this entire cast. And who could forget the man who sold the dream? Ray Baker, born in 1948, played Bob McLean, the smooth-talking salesman at Recall who seduced Quaid with a secret agent fantasy. He was the catalyst for the entire movie. In real life, Ray found his own happy ending, married to Patricia Richardson, the mom from Home Improvement, for many years. At 77, he proves that the best salesman in the galaxy can also be a devoted family man. Finally, there are those who transcended their roles entirely. Lisha Naff, born in 1962, portrayed Mary, the memorable bar worker whose startling three-breasted mutation seared itself into pop culture history. While that effect made her iconic, Lisha eventually stepped away from the camera to become a tenacious investigative journalist, fighting for justice for victims in major high-profile cases. At 63, she is a respected reporter, proving she is far more than just a sci-fi memory. And Robert Picardo, born in 1953, provided the voice for the annoyingly cheerful Johnny Cab. He later became a sci-fi icon as the Doctor in Star Trek, Voyager, and today, at 72, he serves on the board of the Planetary Society, a man of science who played artificial intelligence with a very human soul. After 36 years, Total Recall remains a masterpiece of sci-fi. It's a film that gave us heroes, villains, and unforgettable moments. But the real story is in the lives of these actors, some who reached unimaginable heights, others who fought for survival, and a few who left us too soon. Their journeys remind us that while the movie asked if we can trust our reality, the only thing we can trust is the human spirit's ability to endure, transform, and ultimately, thrive.